and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here tonight, guys, where I have to be completely honest with you, that was not really the way that we wanted to move into the semi-final of the Champions League. But of course, it is fantastic that we're there, and that's why this match review here today, it's kind of a complicated one. It kind of comes at us from different kinds of emotions, because on the one hand, we are ecstatic tonight. It is absolutely amazing that as a club, we are back in the final four of Europe's elite. That is absolutely terrific, of course. You know, to be in the semi-final, it's amazing. But on the other hand, we can't ignore what happened tonight. We cannot afford to ignore the performance that we saw, or lack of it, from Barca. There were worrying signs, there were very concerning signs, and we are going to be talking all about the game, all sides of it here. So get yourselves ready, and let's do it. Because look, guys, let me make it absolutely clear. We are all incredibly proud of what this team have done this season. They haven't let us down. They have been absolutely incredible, and that was courtesy, of course, of a real unbeaten run in 2025. Today is the first loss that we've had this year, so make no mistake, we have been superb. We have been absolutely outstanding, and especially in this competition. That is why we are in the semi-final. We got there today because we'd already won 4-0 in the first leg. We put ourselves in a sensational position, and what is interesting, let's start right here then with the starting lineup from Hansi Flick, because I think it was a very, very interesting choice, because what Hansi Flick basically said tonight was, okay, we are going to rest and we're going to rotate a few players here instead of doing it at the weekend, which is interesting on the face of it there, that you wouldn't rotate, you wouldn't change players against Leganés, but you would away at Borussia Dortmund. But if I said to Flick now, well, do you regret that? He would probably come back and say, well, we're through in the Champions League. We were able to come through tonight relatively unscathed in the competition. We are through to the semis, and if I rotated against Leganés, we might have dropped points in the league, which we didn't do. So what we've effectively done here, we've beaten Leganés, and we've also gotten through against Dortmund. But what you can absolutely say, looking at this team here, looking at what was missing, we are nowhere near the same team without Pedri. Now, that has always been clear this season, but I think tonight is perfect evidence of that. If you take Pedri out of this team, we are on a different level, and not in a good way, in a very, very bad way. No Pedri, no party. What you could also say is that without Inigo Martinez, our backline is completely different too. Now, of course, the injury to Alejandro Balde really contributed towards that as well. You know, Gerard Martin, he's come in tonight. He's had a tough night, but to be honest, no more tough than what Jules Koundé had tonight. He was not at the kind of level that we've seen so far this season. Dortmund really targeted him there, tried to get in behind, and succeeded on many occasions. But look, without Inigo, we really do suffer as a team as well. And I thought the front three tonight, guys, included in that as well, Firmine, just didn't function. You know, we did not get the front three going. And if we actually look here at what happened in the first half of this game, in my opinion, it is inexcusable. Now, no matter what happens, it doesn't matter here that we're through to the semi-final. Doesn't matter this team has been outstanding this season. That first half performance, it was shocking. I mean, we had one single shot. That is all we had. One shot at goal, and we allowed Dortmund to get going. We gave them all the ammunition, all the keys there to say, go on, get the crowd behind you. Get everybody with you here. We started the game so slowly, and in my opinion, with the wrong attitude. And that is a concern, because that is not something here that we want to just paper over the cracks and say, oh, well, it was just one game. You can't turn these things on and off. You are either going to be there or you are not. And in a game like this, away at Dortmund, in that kind of atmosphere, we didn't want to see this team crumble. And in my opinion, I think we kind of did tonight. I think there was moments in that game where we were not able to control it in the way that we wanted, and that's my concern. It's not necessarily what happened out there, losing the game 3-1. It's not necessarily about the result. It's about what this means, because you look at what Dortmund did tonight, and you can guarantee Inter will see that. Bayern Munich will see that if they get through. Paris Saint-Germain will see that, and they will think, okay, they hurt Barca. They were able to breach that high line. They were able to get on top of them. They were able to put real pressure on them. And you can guarantee every other team in the Champions League right now, they're paying attention to what happened tonight. And I just think here, this is affected more than just this game. We had a real fear factor behind us. We had so much momentum in this competition. We had so much here going for us. And this game has affected that. This game here is not what we wanted. We wanted to keep that fear coming in our opponents. We wanted to show that we were invincible. But tonight, I mean, what it has to be is a wake-up call. But of course, guys, it's still very, very difficult. It's still very, very tricky here to just openly criticise, this team. Any decisions here being made from Hansi Flick. Because at the end of the day, we have been incredible this season. This team has delivered absolutely extraordinary things, and they can continue to do so. We're in the semi-final of the Champions League. We're in the final of the Copa del Rey. We are still top of the La Liga table. Everything is as we would want it. But what we don't want to do now is let bad habits seep into what we've been doing this season. And it's interesting here, thinking about the players, they are definitely tired. There is definitely an element out there of tiredness and fatigue. We know how many games we've had to play. But that kind of reinforces here, at some point, we've got to rotate. At some point here, whether you had to do it on the weekend, whether you had to do it tonight, Flick made some hard calls, some hard decisions. But these players will need rest, and at times it's really difficult to put Lamine Yamal on the bench. It's been difficult to put Rafinha there, to take off Lewandowski, but you will need to do it here, because quite clearly, these players are getting tired. They are feeling the demands of a very, very long season, and we have to find our way here in the remaining games now to pick our moments, because we need to be on it. You cannot do anything that we did tonight against Inter. You cannot do that against Bayern. You cannot do that against PSG. They will hurt you. They will find ways to exploit you. They will find ways there to get beyond us. And the problem, in my opinion, tonight was we didn't really respond with our attack. Like I say, Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski, they weren't combining. They weren't really showing that much intent on their counter-attack. And that was my problem, really. It was the attitude. It just felt wrong from Barca. It just felt as though we'd worked so hard. We got ourselves in such a great position. We didn't follow through on that tonight. We had an opportunity to show we're the best team in this competition. We are the favourites. We are playing scintillating football. And now, what it feels like, what we actually done here is open the door. We've left the door ajar for other teams to think, okay, Barca are vulnerable. We can get at them, we can work them. We can get beyond them. We didn't want to give teams hope. We didn't want to give teams any amount of chance at all. And what's up to us now? What is still in our hands is the games we have to come. And at the end of the day, we're in the semi-final. We still are in a terrific position, but I just don't think we can write this off. I don't think we can just sweep this game under the carpet and pretend like it didn't happen. There were problems out there today that we're going to be discussing in more detail as we go on. Defensively, individual mistakes, of course, tonight. A few things in midfield as well, and attack. There's lots that we can look at. We cannot sweep it under the carpet. We have to learn from this defeat here. Because like I say, we haven't had defeats. This team has not had many setbacks. But it's about responding from them. It is about learning from what you come up against. And what is absolutely clear, in any game in the Champions League, no matter whether it's 4-0, no matter whether it's 0-0, you cannot arrive into a stadium with the attitude and the mentality that we did tonight. We have to learn from that, and we have to bounce back from that to show that we can still do this, that we are still on the path to win this competition, which in my opinion, we are still there. We still have a team who is capable of delivering everything, as long as we do not take our eye off the ball and we learn and we look and we analyse exactly what went wrong tonight, guys. So please, in your opinion, what did go wrong? What did you see from Barca tonight that wasn't the same as in our previous matches there? What do you feel needs to be improved upon, looking at the most important games still to come this season? What did you make there of the players that were out there, the lineup that was chosen? Were all the right decisions made from Hansi Flick? Please do let me know all of your takeaways down below. But still, guys, and let me just say this again, we do have to celebrate, though. We do have to celebrate the fact that we're in the semi-final. Barca have done it, and we are still right where we want to be. Do not forget that, and do not lose sight of that. No matter what, guys, I will see you soon for more analysis on the way. Thank you indeed for watching and for all of your support. We got through that game. We avoided catastrophe. And hopefully, it is onwards and upwards from here. I will see all of you soon. But until next time, as always, Vejka, El Barça.